breaking news. Welcome to today's headlines. It is unimaginable crisis if something bad happens to Nnamdi Kanu in prison. Ohaneze wants Nigerian government. It is unimaginable crisis if something bad happens to Nnamdi Kanu in prison. Ohaneze warns Nigerian government. To my dear listeners from wherever you're listening from, please stay tuned as I read today's news. Southeast Socio-Cultural Group, the Unïmägïñäble, has warned the Nigerian government to make sure that nothing untoward happens to the detained leader of the indigenous peoples of Biafra IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, in prison. The Apex Igbo organization on Tuesday, in a statement by its national spokesperson, Mr. Alex Ogbonia, warned that Kanu must not die in the Department of State Services DSS custody. Ohaneze warning is sequel to an alarm raised by Kanu's lead counsel, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, that the IPOB leader was diagnosed with gastrointestinal disorder following persistent heartburn. The Igbo Socio-Cultural Group in the statement read, "The attention of the Ohaneze worldwide has been drawn to the deteriorating health of the leader of the independent peoples of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Information reaching us indicates that Nnamdi Kanu is currently suffering from gastrointestinal illness, which necessitates the constant use of antacids and other available medical treatment. It adds that the DSS has refused to allow him to have even the smallest amount of the prescribed painkiller, which could have given him short-term respite." Report from Ifeanyi Ejiofor. The IPOB's Anthony further adds that the DSS has repeatedly treated the existing court order, which specifically directed that Nnamdi Kanu should be granted access to his doctor for an independent review investigation of his current health status with the utmost contempt and disdain. The above report should be very worrisome to any fair-minded patriotic Nigerian. The fair-minded and patriotic because it is self-evident that the Nnamdi Kanu phenomenon is a product of circumstances. Several patriots, such as Chief E.K. Clark, Chief Ayo Adebanjo, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, Dr. Bitrus Pogu, among others, have decried the unjust treatment to the Igbo of the Southeast. The Ohaneze, the Apex Igbo Socio-Cultural Organization, and several eminent Igbo have repeatedly appealed to the heart of Mr. President to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on the premise of a political solution. The only living legend among those that fought for the Nigerian independence and the first Minister of Aviation in the First Republic, Chief Mbazulu Amechi, presented a request to President Buhari when he visited Abakaliki, Ebonyi State, as his last wish. Earlier before that, Mbazulike had also met President Buhari in Aso Rock, Abuja for the same reason. In the interim, common sense will ask, why deny Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the necessary access to a medical doctor? This is very curious and raises a lot of questions. Finally, it is common knowledge that the incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu has rather contributed to the enormity of insecurity in the southeast, and one wonders what will happen if by utter carelessness, negligence, or unnecessary victimization, something untoward happens to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Instructively, many uninformed Nigerians share the base reasoning of the proverbial ostrich. The ostrich buries its head in the sand, joyously, flapping its wings, and believes that it has escaped from reality. As in, the ostrich, the civilized world is watching. Southeast Socio-Cultural Group, the Ohaneze has warned the Nigerian government to make sure that nothing untoward happens to the detained leader of the indigenous peoples of Biafra IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, in prison. The Apex Igbo organization, on Tuesday in a statement by its national spokesperson, Mr. Alex Ogbonia, warned that Kanu must not die in the Department of State Services DSS custody. Ohaneze Indigbo's warning is sequel to an alarm raised by Kanu's lead counsel Ifeanyi Ejiofor that the IPOB leader was diagnosed with gastrointestinal disorder following persistent heartburn. To my dear listeners, now I've come to the end of our today's news. Please do drop by at the comment section